Alright, I haven't done one of these in a while. Hi, I'm in Canada. For anyone who hasn't heard, Chile has taken a hard swing to the left, and I'm finally just considering it a write-off now. Things really started to slide in late 2019 when the riots broke out and the country all went up in flames for a little while. Everything changed very quickly. That we were hoping it would just be a flash in the pan, because suddenly we were defending ourselves from local communist bandits and stuff, things changed very fast. So we thought, okay, they might change very fast back again, this could get all cleaned up in short order, who knows. But no, they just got worse, and then Rona came along and gave the government their pretext for clamping down on the people. And to our dismay, the people mostly went along with it, bought into the medical propaganda, and went along with the lockdown nonsense and masking and social distancing. I know you had lockdowns up here too, but in Chile it was much worse. For instance, just to leave the house, I had to go on to the police website first and apply for permission. I could get 2 permission slips per week. Each one would last for 2 hours. And how long do you keep going like that, We were thinking, it might just be another couple weeks and then things could loosen up again, because that's what they keep telling you. Oh, this is just temporary. Oh, yes, just temporary because of the number of cases, and we gotta flatten the curve, and you want to kill grandma and stuff, so. But after a year of that, it became pretty clear that at some point you just got to cut your losses and move on, because we're bleeding money this whole time, and that has to come from somewhere, which means we have to bill our members to cover security costs and utilities, and how long do you keep that up? And how long do you keep sinking costs into something that could just be taken over by communists? So we dumped it, and we're now selling off the property down there. And for me personally, it's not the end, it's just a change of venue. I'm setting up a new corporation up here. It's not going to be the whole international libertarian getaway kind of thing. It's just a country club. Everyone knows what a country club is. They're usually associated with a sports center of some kind, usually like a ski hill or a golf course or something. But it's a little privately owned community, People buy memberships, and then that entitles them to use certain amenities, and they can live on the premises. Maybe they get a room, maybe they get a cabin or a cottage or something. And so anyway, that's the structure that works best. And I have the benefit now of applying a lot of the lessons I learned from Fort Galt along the way, and I think this is the natural way forward for me. Because down in Chile, not only did our priorities get questioned and reshuffled a little bit, but also we just learned to appreciate and value things that maybe we overlooked before. Like when we went down, it was with the mentality of one should go where they're welcome, one should go where they are freest, and not taking into consideration, not appreciating how quickly things can change. And then when they do, then what? We would always be outsiders down there. Even if we all got citizenship and learned the language perfectly and everything, we would always still be the white gringos from the imperialist northern lands, and maybe a CIA plant or something, who knows, right? And there would just be no way to be as effective as individuals as we are up here in our homelands. So that became the new top priorities. It's not so much go where you're freest in the present, or where you're most welcome in the present, but where you will be able to be most effective in the long term, so that if things start going sideways, you can get involved. If the ship starts going off course, you can get in there and help grab the wheel and steer it back. Because if we ever tried to get involved in Chilean politics, it would be like, well, who are you sticking your nose in someone else's business? Back off, gringo. That mentality would always be there. So yeah, at the end of the day, moving back was the only real way forward. And I don't expect all of our Fort Galt members to follow. It's been a long, crazy uphill grind, and I certainly would understand if some of them have had their fill and want to bail. And those who do, no hard feelings. They'll be entitled to a cut of the proceeds that are recovered from our property sell-off, and that's perfectly fine. I don't blame you. It has been grueling. But for those who want to keep on trucking, I'll be busy up here too. I don't expect people from all over the world to come flocking up here. You have to kind of like the unique quirks of the location. It does get cold in the winter, and it's not for everyone. But I have been meeting a lot of people up here that over the past year, they've also had to recalibrate their priorities and reassess things. And the main thing is, who are you around? Who do you live among? Are they your friends? Or are they just random people that you happen to live near because of circumstances? Because when people go shopping for a new place to live, when they go house hunting and stuff, they consider a lot of different aspects. Access to shopping and transit and stuff. So many factors come into their decision making, but I would say one of the most important factors, the culture of their neighbors, is not taken into consideration. You can't survey the neighbors of a block and figure out where they stand on certain issues and if they're culturally compatible with you before you buy in, But suddenly people are starting to realize how important that is, because we have, police arresting pastors and all, businesses trying to function, restaurants and things, and then local police shutting them down. And obviously we're not all on the same page here if neighbor's turning against neighbor. So the idea of gathering together and forming small communities where you can maintain control at the local level, that's where my head is now, and I think that's underappreciated by most people. It's really easy to get distracted by national level politics, but at the end of the day, it's the local level that has the most effect on your life. The president or prime minister or whatever can pass whatever edicts he wants, but they don't really mean anything if your local cops don't enforce them, So ideally, you would have your own municipality, your own village or town or whatever, and you have the mayor and the chief of police on the same page. You have your own locally established police force, and the police are community members. They're not shipped in from the other side of the country, like the RCMP do. It's people that grew up there, people that moved in there, and they're culturally on the same page with their neighbors. And then, of course, as an incorporated village, you can also, control your own tax rate. Your own property taxes can be 0% if you want, so you can actually have a little free market society and demonstrate how it works and what it looks like on a small scale before trying to preach on the national level. You can show people how roads are built without taxes, and zoning laws, that's another thing that you can control at the local level. So many little things like that are underappreciated, but they have a huge impact. So that's what I want to focus on now, and that's what I'm going to be doing going forwards. So you're not going to hear anything about Fort Galt going forwards, because that is no longer a thing. It was a very important step along the way, a large chapter of the story, so to speak, but that chapter has come to a close now. So this channel will be winding down, and you're not going to hear anything more about this, and that's it. I'm going to leave this video up here for a matter of public record, so if anyone asks, what happened to that Fort Galt place, this is sort of the final account, and I'm going to move on, and I'm going to throw my weight behind this next chapter. So if I see you on the other side, great. If not, it's been fun, and take care out there.